I want to share a verse with you that was a huge part of my faith journey in 2020 as I started dealing with just some of my own stuff that was revealed in 2020. For example, I really struggled with how to deal with all the loss that I experienced last year. And there was a lot: loss of freedom, loss of routine, loss of being with people, loss at work, loss of relationships. And so to try to comfort myself, I started to withdraw, got depressed, was looking for just outlets for that. And the reason this verse became so important to me is because when the reality of my struggles and my failures and my sin becomes real to me, here's what I think. I think, oh, that's it. It'll never get better. Nothing good can become of this. I'll always be defined by this. This verse for me is a reminder that none of that is true. That with God, there's always more to the story because He's a great story writer. Here's the verse, and it's written by, once again, the Apostle Paul. Romans 8:28. Here's what he says. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him and who have been called according to His purpose. And we know that in all things. This means the good, the bad, the ugly. So when stuff is revealed, and I'm like, oh, that's so ugly, that's so bad, I read this verse again, I'm like, hey, that's just an all thing. That God's grace is bigger than any of your circumstances. And in all things, God works. This is amazing when you think about it. That God is always up to something. If you allow Him to, God will work through whatever it is. That God can redeem anything. He can take your pain and turn it into purpose. He can take your fear and turn it into faith. He can take your loss and bring life from it. But there's two conditions. It's for those who love Him. It's for those who trust Him, who surrender to Him. For those who wake up each day and go, okay, God, your way over mine, and who are called according to His purpose, that God can bring purpose and significance out of anything to those who love Him. But we can't just turn the page and move on. We have to be willing to go through the process that will allow Him to do just that. Well, that's what I'm going to encourage you to start doing now before we turn the page and move into 2021. I'm going to give you a series of questions. And what I want you to do is I just want you to take a half hour, an hour or so. I want you to grab pen and paper and just write out your answers to these questions. Here's the first question. What is one problem that was revealed in 2020 that you need to address in 2021? And once again, just one problem. You may say there's a lot. No, just one. And notice I said need, not want, because we never want to, but you need to, because it's going to follow you into 2021. Maybe it's your marriage. And all the togetherness of last year revealed, you weren't really together. Or it's your finances. Last year revealed that you weren't ready for an economic fallout. Maybe it's your mental health. And there were just some things that surfaced for you, and maybe you've known them, but you've ignored them, but now you're going to deal with them. Or maybe it was a sinful habit or an outlet. I mean, it's like you get stressed, and then you turn to alcohol or drugs or pornography, or you start to withdraw. Or maybe it's your faith. At one time, you were walking with God, but you fell away. Here's a second question. What is the why behind it? Well, we need help in our marriage. Okay, well, why? Well, she is or he is. No. Why you? I get nervous when, well, why is that? What makes me nervous? Why is that? Well, I fell away from faith. Why? Well, because bad stuff happened. Well, why did that cause you to fall away? What's the real reason driving the what? So ask the why question. Third question I want you to ask. Who do you want to become? Reset your identity. I want to, and then you finish the sentence. And then finally, would you be willing to surrender to God? Would you be willing to give up trying to change you with you instead? Would you invite the very Spirit of God into your situation? I'm done trying to do this. God, I need you.